a lot of these skill sets that we're going through. Some of you may or may not know, we work with Dr. Stam and Northern Virginia Community College and all those sort of things with our community college systems to take those equivalencies from those military occupation skill sets and give those soldiers, sailor, airmen, and Marines and Coasties civilian credit for their academics. So when they get out, they can use their post 9/11 GI Bill, and they're already a year or two ahead of the program.
Out of the service, and they're trained in IT and things like that, are perfect for going into cybersecurity, which is a big growing field. If I get a chance towards the end of this to talk about what I think so we'll probably have in common today, and that's our business development model. We'll talk. And I think that I think it's probably a good solution. Again, it's just going to move the choke point down, get it past 610, but there's a lot of cars that come off on 610, and they'll be able to avoid that. As far as
the best solution to relieve some of that congestion, I listen to experts that tell me, hey, it's going to relieve some of that congestion, and as the speaker said, move it down the road a little bit. Hey, I'd love for them to move it down all the way to Ashland. But the reality is, we fix what we can fix and treat what we can treat.
Career and technical jobs that do not require college degrees, jobs such as welders, plumbers, dental assistants, and electricians. How can the state make it easier for people who are going into these fields to get the qualified training?
Two separate issues. One, are you on two different paths? Are you going the VOTEC route, or are you going education route that budgets have shrunk? Requirements for standards of learning and all these testing and everything else has gone up. Administrations are top heavy. They're having to keep up with the regulatory burden, and if you talk to those that are involved in education, they'll tell you they understand what business wants. The challenge they have is some of the regulatory burden that they have to get students to a certain level. Admiral in charge of the shipyard in Norfolk doesn't have enough welders, so he's trying to figure out where he goes so they can continue to fix our fleet. It's an issue. We've got a pipeline coming through. If you talk to the folks putting in the pipeline, they're going to have that issue with technology. And so we have to address that with our student population, as well as where are the jobs of the future going to, and then we retool education to address those needs. Otherwise, industry, you all in industry are going to go find it, because you want to remain profitable, you want to grow your business, you're going to have skilled employees.
Superintendents focus on the college-bound path all the time. That's where they put their priorities. The problem with VOTEC, it's very expensive. And until we get regional cooperation and do it on a regional basis, a regional governor's school-like approach, you pool the resources to make it cost-effective, we don't have a solution set. People have got to break down these parochial barriers that we have as elected officials and school boards. We're the only people in the world who know where the county lines are and care about it. And until we get past that, I don't think there's any hope. So I think about legislation that rewards them and encourages them to move in that direction quickly, because you're absolutely right. This world is changing. He's got jobs out there that are available today that make big money. And until we start addressing it with a focus and have people who are concerned and focused on that, it's not going to happen. Those folks are too worried about the SOLs and the rest of it. They need to have a vocational champion.
I drive down Westmoreland County a good bit of time and drive by this place where they make these trailers, very successful. A couple of young kids started this thing some years ago, and it's really taken off. But every time I drive by for the past year or two, they've had a sign out, welders wanted. And now they've got another sign, CDL drivers wanted. There's jobs that are available that no one's trained to do.
Whether y'all are adequately funding community colleges and their technical training, because I hear a great deal that they are not being adequately funded.
Focal point for workforce training, and that includes a lot of technical stuff. I'm not sure we're there yet. I think that there doesn't seem to be the coordination that we need. Some schools are doing it, some schools aren't.
Training and workforce development, that's one of the success stories of community colleges providing those skills, and that's why we maybe ought to put some resources, because it produces such
growth in Virginia. In 2014, Virginia GDP growth was 0%. Problems ahead of us, and Charlie's exactly right. It's an issue of prioritizing.